General, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to deliver this statement on behalf of the non-aligned movement to commemorate the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. The International Day of Solidarity is a solemn occasion for renewing our commitment in the search for a fair and lasting solution to the Palestinian cause and to achieve genuine peace and security in the Middle East. The non-aligned movement has historically maintained a firm and solidary stance toward the Palestinian people and their just cause, which rejects the illegal Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories. In the final document of the 2019 Baku Summit of the Non-Aligned Movement, the non-member states stressed the urgent need to continue providing political, economic and humanitarian support to assist the Palestinian people and to bolster their resilience and efforts aimed at achieving their legitimate national aspirations, including their inalienable right to self-determination and freedom in the independent state of Palestine, with East Jerusalem as its capital on the basis of the pre-1967 borders in line with international law and relevant United Nations resolutions. The non-aligned movement stresses that just and lasting solution to the question of Palestine in all of its aspects remains a permanent responsibility of the United Nations until it is satisfactorily resolved in accordance with international law and the relevant United Nations resolutions, and emphasizes the need for mobilization and exertion of multilateral efforts to alleviate the humanitarian and socio-economic hardships being endured by the Palestinian people. The non-aligned movement expresses its deep concern about the critical situation and vulnerability of Palestine refugees due to the instability and crisis throughout the region. In this regard, the non-aligned movement underlines the importance of action, including through the United Nations programs of support to the Palestinian people, in particular the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees in the Near East. The non-aligned movement reiterates its grave concern about the plight of thousands of Palestinian civilians, and in this regard stresses the need to ensure protection for the Palestinian civilian population in accordance with international humanitarian law and the relevant Security Council resolutions regarding the provisions of protection of civilians in armed conflicts, and in accordance with the General Assembly Resolution A/Res/ES10/20 and the relevant report of the UN Security Secretary General. The ongoing illegal Israeli settlement activities in the occupied Palestinian territory continue to be a matter of grave concern. In this regard, the non-aligned movement stresses the need for urgent action to mobilize the international community, including the Security Council, in accordance with the UN Charter duties, to compel Israel, the occupying power, to cease completely all illegal settlement activities in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem, and to abide by all of its obligations under international law, including the Fourth Geneva Convention and the relevant UN resolutions. The non-aligned movement condemns any action which will legitimize the occupation and illegal settlements. This is the time where the international community needs to take concrete measures to honor its legal and moral responsibility to defend the legal system that is being put at risk and ensure that impunity does not become the norm. On this day, the non-aligned movement calls for the redoubling of international efforts at the governmental, intergovernmental, and non-governmental levels, stressing that a peaceful solution to the question of Palestine is central for establishing peace and stability in the Middle East. Thank you, Madam President.